Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we are going to be reviewing and building the Willy Ley Orbital Rocket from Atlantis. Now this is a kit that I really knew nothing about until I saw it on the Atlantis website, and honestly I'd never seen it, but something about it just piqued my curiosity. I'm a big fan of old classic science fiction and science stuff and rocketry, so I hadn't really heard about this or Willy Ley at all until I started doing some research on this. Now, this kit was originally issued way back in 1959 by Monogram, and I don't believe it's been reissued or published anywhere else since then. And now, this kit has been re-released by Atlantis in 2024. So, who is Willy Ley? Well, he was a German-American science writer and historian of science born way back in October of 1906 in Berlin, Germany. He was known for his work in popularizing rocketry and space travel, and he was one of the earliest proponents of a manned flight to the moon. He also did a lot of scientific writing and was well known for his lectures on the subjects. He's also credited for designing several scale models of space rockets and vehicles. This one, the Orbital Rocket, and the Rocket PS-47, which is another model of his. This kit was a kind of a research project for him, from what I understand. And it depicts the three-staged manned rocket for controlling orbital flight. The first stage, which had wings and a co-pilot, and then the second stage with a booster for boosting the third stage into orbit. The second stage would then be able to fly back down, land on Earth for reuse, which we're actually seeing today with the SpaceX program. He also did a passenger version of this, which there is no kit available for. It was released a long time ago as well, and I don't know if Atlantis is planning to reissue that kit as well or not. Let me know, Atlantis, because that would be pretty cool. All right, so if any of you ever built this kit before, or have you built it since, let me know down in the comments below. I'd really love to hear about your experience with the kit. Once again, I want to thank my friends at Atlantis for sending this into the channel for review. And I'd also like to take a moment to thank all my current subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you wouldn't mind, please click that subscribe button down below. It helps out the channel and I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's get into the box and see what's inside. Okay, first out of the box, we have several pieces that have come loose from the sprues. So when you open up your kit and you open up the plastic bag, you want to make sure you pay close attention to these loose pieces. This, I believe, is for the first stage rocket engine backing. Not sure what that is. This looks like part of a rocket engine. And I believe these are maybe the landing gear hatches. I'm not sure. We will find out. Okay, next we have the sprue that had those pieces, or at least some of them, on it. There's a lot of raised detail. It's all raised detail on this. But this kit does come in three colors, red, blue, and white. Some more rocket engines there. Okay, here we have the two halves of our first stage. They are molded in blue. And initial fit-wise, not bad. All of the detail is raised, though. You can feel all the faux rivetry, and there's not really a whole lot of detail in there, but maybe we can pick out some. Next, we have the second stage, which is the booster rocket. Again, all raised detail, this time molded in red. All right, here we have parts to our third and final stage aircraft, molded in white. Again, all raised detail. Some more rocket engines, possibly, some more elevators, wings. Here we have the parts with the main first section wings, top and bottom, the rockets or the jet engines for the first stage for re-entering the orbit of Earth, and what looks like our launching pad. Quite a bit of flash on these, but it's really thin, so I don't think that's going to cause too many problems. And then we have some figures over here very tiny. We'll have to paint those up. Another figure down here. Here we have our clear parts. They look pretty nicely molded. Okay, here we have our instructions, and this is kind of a fold out instruction booklet. Here we have an exploded view of the launch stand, the first stage, the second stage booster, and the third stage. The rest of the instructions are photos of the actual kit that you're going to be building. Let's get this opened up here. There we go. We can get that all on screen. And then on the other side, more information about the kit. Also in the box, we have our decals, which seem very nice. I'm not sure why there's this extra one loose in the box. Maybe we'll figure that out as we build the ship. They have a U.S. Space Force callings here and lettering. It would have been really cool if Atlantis had included an extra set of decals with our actual modern day United States Space Force logo. That would have been really neat. And finally, we have a little booklet, which I've seen in other educational kits from Atlantis. I think these are really nice, great information in here about Willy Ley and, of course, his life and what he did. There's some information on how the orbiter will actually work. And then on the back, this back page here, it actually shows the other kits. So here is the orbital rocket, which we are building now. Here is the passenger rocket. Here is the TV orbiter, which looks a lot like the Apollo rocket. And then also the space taxi. Now, I have seen the space taxi before. I did not know that that was a Willy Ley kit, but that's interesting to know. And I have actually never seen this particular orbital kit, so maybe Atlantis will come out with those as well. All right, so that's going to do it for the initial opening the box and reviewing the parts. This should be a pretty straightforward kit to build. I may do a little design changes on my own version of this, but this looks like a pretty easy kit to build. It is nice that it's molded in color. And as I said, the decals and everything look really nice, so we'll see how it turns out. All right, so I think it's time to grab some glue, some sanding sticks, some paint, and get to the build. And here we have it, friends, the completed Willy Ley Orbital Rocket from Atlantis. So this is a different kit, an interesting kit. The source material of this kit is really interesting to me, as it may be with others as well. I think it's really interesting to be able to build something that was envisioned way back when in the 50s, and with really just, theories of what space travel and technology would be in the future. And I think it's just great that, way back then, people like Willy Ley were envisioning things that we are seeing today, like with the SpaceX program. So really a cool topic for a kit, and I'm really glad that Atlantis has brought this kit back out for us to build. Now, as far as the kit goes itself, it's pretty straightforward. It's not a lot of pieces, but it's not maybe a beginner kit. There are some fiddly parts. The landing gear is kind of fiddly, and I get that it's supposed to be, you can use the landing gear and all that, but this is not a toy. This is a display piece, and the landing gear, even though you could make it work, it really does not go together well. On mine, I did it in launch mode, so the landing gear for the front is closed up. The landing gear for the rear is actually covered by these external tanks, so you don't even see them. So if you're not worried about it looking and working exactly how it is on the instructions, in the end, you get a final look of what the kit looks like, and it looks really nice sitting on a shelf. The space plane and the booster do separate from the main unit here, and they also separate from themselves. However, if you do that more than a couple times, probably not going to fit too well and stay in place afterwards. These are just friction fit right now, so I could take them off, but actually, let's try that. We'll just try taking this unit off. And there you go. There is the space plane with the booster rocket assembly. And this does come out, but again, it's friction fit in here, and it's not the greatest. So if you want to keep it looking okay for display, I would suggest you leave it in place, but it's your model. You do it how you want. The way it fits in is kind of neat. You've got a tab down here that goes in here in the rocket, and then a little hole with a spring inside there that grabs onto this little clip right here. Let's see if I can do this on camera. So you just stick this down inside there, put that in there, and you'll hear it click, and there you go. It's back on the main unit there and ready to launch. So this does also come off the stand like so. There's a couple of little notches here, and there's notches in the base. So you basically just put those notches in there, and it pretty much holds itself on the base pretty well. I may glue mine eventually so it just doesn't topple over. It's not on there super well, so if you're not careful, this one will topple off the stand and onto the floor. I took my own liberties with some of the colors. I tried to stay true to the box, though. The landing pad I did in a yellow chromium. I just thought it looked different and a little different contrast. The wings are all white. The body I started with a metallic silver base and then went over it with Tamiya transparent blue, and it gives that really cool look to the blue. I just think that pops really well. The booster rocket is done in insignia orange and then kind of roughed up a little bit to make it look like it's, been used. And the space plane is done basically in Tamiya gloss white, and then the decals are added per on the box. I will mention the decals went on really well. And remember in the intro, I mentioned that there was an extra decal right here. Well, the reason for that is the two decals that come on the main sheet are for the same side. So you've got this side, and then you've got an exact one that obviously you can't put on this side because it needs to be opposite. So that's what that extra yellow stripe decal was for. It was the proper rendition of the stripe so you could add it on both wings. So this kit was a fun kit to build. I enjoyed just taking liberties with design and color and paint. And if you want to build something different and you like the old style space program and theories that they had and designs, this is a great kit. Also, I will add, this would make a great kit for using for kit bashing or using it for parts from this onto another kit. There's a lot of useful parts in it. These engines are really cool. Even these fuel tanks are nice. And I also have some ideas in my head for another build I'm working on where I might pick up another one of these and do some customizing by using some of the parts from this kit. I'd really love to hear from anyone who built this kit way back when it was originally released. I think that would be really neat. I want to say thanks to Atlantis again for providing the kit and also for bringing out and repopping these old kits. I really think it's really cool that you guys are doing that. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode, friends. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button down below. Helps out the channel. I'd really appreciate it. So until next time, friends, everyone be safe out there and go build something.